If you buy a ticket to an R-rated movie and you walk in and you clutch your pearls at the horrible content that you're being just bombarded with, it's your own damn fault. Grow up. You bought the ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, Legionnaires, welcome to Tabletop Fundamentals with Heathen Dog. Today we're going to be talking about the Sisters of the Seven Sins. A little bit of controversial RPG, but it's good, and I want to tell you about it. First, let me tell you about what it's about. Publisher, Postmortem Studios, you know Graham. Well, if you know our channel, you know Graham, but yeah, his studios came out this year, and the designer is Miguel Ribeiro. Okay. I asked Miguel how to pronounce his name because there are many ways to pronounce this. His family's actually Portuguese, but they pronounce it the European way. And since my mouth is not trained to do either, I'm just going to say Ribeiro. There you go. And if you want to buy this after hearing this awesome take on it, then you can look at Drive-Thru RPG, and it's going to be $3.99. There's only a PDF, no soft cover, no hardcover, nothing like that. Or you can go to postmortemstudios.com and get it for £2.99. Now, £2.99 as of the recording of this video is about $4.15. So if you want to save 16 pennies, you can go to Drive-Thru RPG. But if you want to make sure that the creator gets as much money as possible, try Postmortem Studios. Come on. 16 cents. What are you going to do? The genre is called Giallo, as far as I can pronounce it. Now, it's Italian for yellow. You're going to find out because it's based on the Giallo novels. Now, the novels are pretty specific in their look. Well, here we go. The most common publisher, or the most popular publisher, always used the yellow background with the circle cut out for the picture and some racy or spicy cover art to, grab your attention. Make the customer pick up the book. It's a really good deal. Cover looks like this. Another cover looks like this. And more covers look like this. I think you can see a theme here. Exploitation, yes. Suspense, thriller, yes. Sometimes a little splash of horror, murder mystery, yes. And all of it is with a titillating cover. Call it clickbait of the 20th century. Yeah. Now, the author puts 5 or 6 pages in this game, in the first part of the PDF, examining the history of the genre, so you know exactly what you're getting into before you read the rest of the book. As long as you don't skip to the end. You shouldn't do that. It's bad for you. This particular story starts off at a convent. I mean, Sisters of the Seven Sins, right? You figured it had nuns in it. Well, guess what? It has nuns in it. And this convent was created for sisters who came to the order with deep guilt or regret in their life that they just can't shake. And this convent was made so they could have some place to be where they can live a life of solitary, I don't want to say confinement, but it's pretty remote, but solitary servitude of the Lord. Silent repentance, I guess. Thoughtful look at their transgressions. Maybe they can ascend to the kingdom of heaven through repentance and, well, just getting over their crap. It sounds nice, right? Yeah. I mean, if you got nowhere else to go, it's a pretty good deal. Except this one's not a really good deal at all, because this place is actually a den of iniquity. It's just got filled with sex, drugs, rock and roll, debauchery of all kinds, and it's pretty much the opposite of what it was supposed to be. Now, the cool thing about this is that you don't know why. Is it the sisters themselves? Is it just folk being folk? Or is there something more sinister going on? Are the sisters being made to do this, either by an outside individual, organization, or supernatural force? Well, that's what we get into next. Your role as the PC is to figure out what is going on and basically put a stop to it. I mean, you're supposed to be a hero, right? So There you go. You can be one of many things. The book gives examples. The first one is a foreign reporter. Your publication or newspaper or whatnot got hold of the story and sent you to do an investigation into this convent. It's one way to go. Another way is the church got rumors of the same thing, and they send you as a church investigator. Check out the convent, see what's going on, report back, stop if necessary, rinse and repeat, right? Well, there's another aspect. Now, what I didn't tell you about the Giallo genre is that most of the protagonists are women. So you can also be a nun. Now, it gives rules the game so you can be one of the main nuns. Not all the main nuns, but some of the main nuns can be taken over by player characters. But I recommend, after reading the book, I recommend that you are a new nun sent to the convent and they are slowly trying to convert you to their ways. And you fight against this and you go to free your sisters from this sins that they have held on to, or the corruption of an outside force, be it a person or persons or a supernatural force. Maybe the devil is actually making them do it. I don't know. It's up to your game master and you to figure out what role you want to play in this story. Speaking of roles, this is the GM's role. What kind of mystery is it? I gave you lots of examples before. Is it just the nuns being nuns? You know, they were bad apples to begin with, and they just rotted no matter where they went? Or did they go there with the intent desire to better themselves, but then some outside force, some criminal organization or corrupting influence got a hold of them and drove them down this path? Or is this place actually cursed? I don't know. It depends on what you want. You want to make it a suspense thriller? You want to make it a murder mystery? Maybe when you got there as the reporter or as the church investigator, someone was killed to keep them silent. And now you have to figure out who done it. Or the third route, the supernatural route. Maybe the place is cursed. Maybe the devil made him do it. Well, as an investigator for a publisher, I don't know. I got nothing to. But as an exorcist from the church, whoo-hoo, that's some good stuff right here. And as a nun, your faith is being tested. Is your faith more powerful than the devil? Well, we'll find out. Now, the GM decides it all, but I recommend the game master talk over with the players on what kind of game experience they want to have. Do they want to have this suspense thriller, murder mystery, or a supernatural / horror type deal? And then this may influence the choice of characters they have with their, with their fun times in playing your game. Now, the system, the game mechanics are pretty easy. It's based on actual fucking monsters, which is a game also from Postmortem Games. It's gritty, it's brutal, it's also extremely easy, and it only costs a couple of bucks on postmort.com or DriveThruRPG, but the game was made to be plug and play with any system. All of the stats in this book, very, very minimal. Very minimal. So much so that Miguel made sure that almost any game system would be plug and play with his story. If you want to do Chaosium, especially if you do the supernatural horror part, you're good to go. You plug in Chaosium rules, runs like a Swiss watch. You want something like GURPS, something a little more generic that your people are already familiar with, fine. It works well. GURPS works great with everything, right? But it'll work great with this system too. 5e, sure, it'll work. I don't know why you want to do it, but yeah, it'll be great. Any system will work with this. The story is what really matters. So, what did I think of it? Is it a bit spicy? Yes. Is there lots of sex and drugs and violence? Yes. Yes, it is. That's the point of the story. Now, I don't personally like a whole lot of sex in my games. But if it's absolutely imperative to the story, then it's absolutely important to leave in. And the sex and the violence and the drugs is absolutely important to the story. It's not only part of the genre material, it's written into the story of the game. It's integral. It's necessary to move the plot forward. Now, it is meant to be shocking. That's the point. If the players are prepared for it, if they bought their ticket to this particular R-rated movie, then they understand what's going to happen. Them being shocked, them being taken aback, well, that's all part of the fun. That's part of the immersion. It's the impetus to get their players to want to fix this. Stop it, reverse it, banish the devil, uncover the crime syndicate behind this that's funneling drugs through the convent, whatever. They're going to want to know, and they're going to want to do it. So, final thoughts. What do I think of the game? I think it's great. For an indie game, it is extremely well written. Now, I haven't played a whole lot of Absolute Fucking Monsters to know about the system and how well it runs in all situations. But like I said, you don't need to know it. You can plug and play any system into this. It'll work just fine. So, mechanics aside, story alone, this thing holds water. I recommend you get it, especially for the price. I mean, you could do this as a con type one-off, 4 to 6 hours, boom, you're done. Or you could do this as a 6-month campaign. Either way is fine. I recommend you get it. It's a couple of bucks out of your pocket. Don't have that Starbucks frappe. No, buy this instead. You're going to have a good time. Thank you very much. Hope to see you back in the channel again. And remember, be a Legionnaire.